Hello, y'all. Danny, aka Firebrand Fox here, streaming Donkey Kong per my usual afternoon routine. Sorry it's a little bit late today. I came downstairs and plugged my webcam into my computer, and then my mouse and touchscreen weren't responding at all. So I had to restart my computer in order to be able to get the stream going. So yeah, that delayed me a little bit, unfortunately. But here we are now, so it's all good. And we're just gonna play some Donkey Kong during my break. I'll have to make sure I keep it kind of a short one today because I sent an email to somebody at like 11 o'clock this morning. Oh my gosh, my screen even decides to cooperate. It was working fine. But I just sent an email to somebody at like 11 o'clock this morning asking for some information. Um, been waiting on that all day, and then finally at like 3:55 they responded with what I needed. So I'm like, great. So now the work that's going to take me about an hour to do, that I could have done all afternoon when it was relatively slow, I'm going to have to most likely stay late and put in overtime in order to get that. And you might be like, well, Danny, but why are you streaming then? Well, because I'm on my lunch break, because I purposely take my lunch break as late as possible in the day. Um, and honestly, I was just, and the person I asked, like, can be unresponsive. So I was honestly at this point, I was like, well, I haven't heard anything today. Probably will just not hear anything until tomorrow, and that'll be that. But nope, incorrect. They responded to my stuff like 5 hours later. No, like 4 hours later. I'll give it the benefit of doubt. Like 4 hours later, which I guess isn't that long of time. It just feels long when it's like, I asked you for such a minuscule thing and it took you so long to get back to me that now, and now it's inconveniencing me, which is just annoying. But anyway, it is what it is. Not a huge deal. Just, we'll deal with that when I get back to work. And who knows, like maybe my the carrier, I asked if they could handle the potential shipment. Maybe they'll just say, actually, tomorrow we can't do it, too late notice, and then I won't have anything to do for the rest of the day. Or I mean, I could like prep for for a pickup on Friday then, but then I don't need to worry about, oh, I need to get this done today before I leave, sort of deal. That can be a do what I can until punch out time and then work on it tomorrow morning sort of deal. But anyway, that's that. So I had a realization last night when I was scrolling through Twitter, because a person I follow was talking. I don't even remember the original context of it, but they were talking about how oh my gosh, come on. They were talking about how, like, in Japanese, like, lore and myth, centipedes represent evil, and, like, that makes sense when you consider they have, like, an absolutely terrifying centipede. By the way, it's like, content warning, I'm gonna be talking about terrifying bugs for a little bit, so if you don't like that, maybe click away. So they were talking about this terrifying centipede that Japan has. And I was like, oh man, yeah, I got one of those in my apartment once. It sucked. And then that kind of like reminded me that, oh, anytime I'm struggling to think about what to talk about on stream, I should, recount stories from the year I lived in Japan, because all kinds of oh my gosh, I got into like all kinds of zany stuff during that time, and have all these fun stories that I'm like, I feel like I've told some people, but I don't know. I forget like what I've told certain friends and whatnot. Like, I get just like I know some people know these stories, but I don't know how widespread these tales that I have are. And that just seems like a fun thing that I can always. Oh my god. Really? Really, we're gonna do this today? Oh my god. That was actually a really good first level, and now I'm mad because the screen went out. Come on. Come on, dude. We've had no issues the past few days. Do you really gotta start bugging out now? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Come on. Like, I like how it's, like, flickering, and then when I die, it's coming back. Gosh. So annoying. But anyway, so, I lived in Japan for 14 months. I did the JET program. It was like 5 years ago now. I had to think about that for a second, but yeah, I graduated college in 2015 and went to Japan summer of 2015, like July 2015. I came back to the States September 2016. So when I was living in Japan, prepping to go to Japan, they tell you the horror stories of like, oh, there's so many terrible bugs in Japan. Be prepared to deal with them, which is something I didn't know about Japan. So some of the terrible bugs that they have, that we were warned about before going over there, they have. They've got cockroaches, like everywhere's got cockroaches, but, everyone made a point to tell us, like, even if your house is pretty clean, you're still gonna get the occasional cockroach because, they're just everywhere, like, you're gonna get them on occasion, so be prepared for that. And I was like, okay, whatever, like, oh my god, come on. At least I'm in a spot where I can't die. Alright. I don't know why the monitor is wigging out like this. Come on. Even when it's coming back on, as you can, I'm not sure if you can really tell, but even when it's coming back on, it's super wide out of focus. There's some kind of focus issue. Which again is like the continuing problem I've been having with the monitor. Alright. Come on. Come on. It's like almost there, finishing up, powering up, and then it's shutting off. Okay. There we go. And that time it came back in, it was like perfectly in the right ratio and nothing, so I don't know, we're just gonna roll with it. So cockroaches, you're gonna find them everywhere. So be prepared for that. And they're like, there's two kinds of cockroaches. If you get a big one, that's a good sign because those are solitary. If you get small ones, then that's a potential infestation, and that's not good. Thankfully, I only ever saw big ones, and I got them about once a month. Not a big deal. Again, like, I'm used to those. There's also, and if you're following the news cycles last year, you might have heard about the giant Japanese murder hornets. So they're like this variety of, I'm trying to think if they're a wasp or a hornet, but basically giant stinging insect that like murders bees, and professionals recommend that if you get stung by one, you go to the hospital immediately because their venom can be that deadly. So again, I thankfully never encountered those, so I didn't have to worry about them. Jesus, come on. The hammer running out right as I go. Ugh. Ugh. Thankfully I never had to deal with the giant Japanese hornets, so didn't have to deal with those, thankfully. There were also, and this one is not native to Japan, but huntsman spiders, which are Australian spiders, which are gigantic. Like, size of your face gigantic. Again, and those, not venomous, they're just super big and intimidating. So, thankfully, I never encountered one, so I didn't have to deal with that. But perhaps the most notorious Japanese insect is the mukade, which is a type of centipede. And let me tell you, bugs don't really bother me that much, except for centipedes. I do not like centipedes. Even so, I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh my god, ew, I can't even look at it. Like, if I see a centipede, like, I'm like, ew, no, but I go into, like, attack, destroy, remove from my house mode sort of deal. Jeez, come on. That was bad luck on the hammers on the rivets board, and 2 deaths due to screen issues, so what a crappy round. But I still managed to do okay on, I guess. So Mukade. Another insect that is recommended if you get bit, you go to the hospital. Not necessarily as pressing as the murder wasps, unless you are like young or elderly. But they're still like, if you get bit, you should go see a doctor. And they like, you just look at them and they are terrifying looking. Like their body is black, their legs are like a yellowish orange, and their heads can either be orange or like red. Um, and so I don't like centipedes. So learning about this, I was like, nope, 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 never, never. I never want one of those in my house ever. Please no. So one night, my friend Kara was over at my place, and she was spending the night. So we were over and we were like just talking about random shit, and I like brought and we were talking about Mukade, and like she had not heard of them, and I was like, how have you not heard of them? Like, oh my god, I'm terrified. I'm gonna end up finding one. Like, I just hope I never find one in my house. Haha. And we're like, haha, yeah, like, you know, had a couple drinks. Then we're getting ready for bed. So I go to the bathroom to like, you know, use the toilet, brush my teeth, etc. And I just hear from the other room, Danny? And I'm like, yeah. And Kara's just like, yo, what did those centipedes look like? And I just kind of went, oh no. Sure enough, I come out and there's one on my kitchen floor. So immediately I reach underneath my kitchen sink, whip out some bug spray, just spray the thing to shit. And it kind of like curls up and, you know, dies. But for good measure, I also set it on fire because I wanted to send a message to the other Mukade out there. So I set it on fire, and just to make sure it was extra dead. And then I moved the carcass out to my front patio area. I was just like, nope, I don't even want the dead body of this thing in my house, just in case for some reason that didn't kill it. Like, I don't even want it in there. And the next day, I went to the like hardware department store in town, and oh my god, I really don't like this. I went to like the hardware department store in town and bought this bug repellent powder that you can just sprinkle outside of your house. Oh my god. Ah, God. These guys are on my ass. I probably point pressed too much. That's probably the issue. I should have gone down and grabbed the hammer sooner. Oh well. So I went and got this powder that is designed to kill bugs, and what you do is you put it outside your house. And I was just like, I'm sorry, environment. I'm so sorry, but I just absolutely cannot deal with having another one of these in my house. So I spread the powder in a circle around my apartment, because I was on a ground floor apartment too. So I already knew going in that that meant I was more likely to get bugs uh, than like the apartments who are like on the second story. So I was just like, no, 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 we're not doing this. I am purchasing this powder, and basically the rest of my time there, I lived with a salt ring around my house, except instead of salt, it was the bug repellent powder. My gosh, yeah, just like that. The one time one got into my house, I was just terrified. Awful, awful, awful. Just no thank you. In so many ways, no thank you. Alright, cool. Got in there. Ugh. Of course, you come right back up. Ugh. Alright, it's fine. It's not fine. I'm frustrated that my screen is having issues because I should be able to, like, play fine, and here we are. Yeah, oh man, that was just the bugs. the bugs in Japan. That's like something that you don't, again, you don't expect, you don't necessarily hear about, and then, and even like, even when I went in college, my senior year, I went to Japan, for like a just over 2 week trip, and like as part of like an academic program at the school. Um, so we basically like took a 2 week trip over our winter break, to go to a couple different cities and like see stuff that we had learned about the prior semester. It was actually pretty cool. It was called Japan Term, um, and what it was is in the fall semester, you would take at least one Japanese or like Japanese history culture related class, and then over a winter break, because we were on the quarter system, so our break started like right before Thanksgiving and then went through New Year's. So we had like a 6 week long winter break. So you would take the Japan classes like in the fall, however many that you wanted or your schedule accommodated for, and then over the winter break, we would go to Japan for 2 weeks and kind of like learn about the stuff that like actually see and like learn a little bit more about the stuff that we had learned in the semester prior. Very cool program. Really enjoyed that trip. But even going on that trip, and maybe it's less of a concern because it's during the winter, but so they don't need to worry about bugs as much because it was definitely more of an issue during the warmer months. But like even preparing for that trip, like didn't know about those, didn't have to worry about those. Uh, and then I went and lived in Japan and had to worry about terrifying centipedes. Also, I forgot to mention the thing that's like extra terrifying about Mukade is that they can grow up to 20 centimeters in length, so they can grow up to almost a foot long, which is also just terrifying and disgusting. So, just great times with these terrible, terrible insects. Ugh. Yeah, so was not prepared for that when I got to Japan. Otherwise I would have purchased that bug powder like day one of getting into my town. Because yeah, my first day there, like my cooperating Japanese teacher, met me at the Board of Education office. Damn it, I should jump a little. Whatever. My coordinating teacher met me at the Board of Education office and was like, okay, we're going to take you to your new apartment. And she was super nice. I love Takai sensei. She's like, okay, so we're going to, take you to your apartment so you can take your luggage there. And then, we can, we can go to a store real quick if you need anything immediately. We can we'll go out to dinner, and then like anything else that you need, we can go grab later this week. But to start off, we'll take you to the like hardware department store. Yeah, I guess like it was weird because it was like it was a hardware store in that they sold like tools and like stuff for like contractors and oh my god oh my god, this screen is so frustrating today. All right, I'm just gonna try unplugging it and plugging it back in and see if that works. And if not, then I'll just call it an extra short stream today and get back to work because this is stupid and annoying and frustrating, and I don't know why it's deciding to wig out on me. Probably because I never actually fixed the issue, but yeah, like I can hear it turning and like wanting to turn on, and it's just not. Ugh, so annoying. That's so annoying. Ugh. I mean, really, I probably just need to get a new monitor for this thing. Ugh. But yeah, so I guess due to technical failure, we will call the stream there. About 20-minute mark, I guess. Frustrating. Um, I'm actually like really mad about this. Because the past 2 days it's worked fine. I've had absolutely no issues, and then today it's like, no, 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 extra bad now. Whatever. Maybe if I let it sit overnight, it'll cooperate and work so I can stream tomorrow when I will hopefully have more time to. So, anyway, thanks for coming by and listening to me talk about Japanese bugs. Hopefully, next time my cabinet will be cooperating and can talk about less disgusting things. Because, again, like I have a bunch of just like weird, fun stories from Japan that I would love to share. And I think I could do so pretty well while playing Donkey Kong. But that's reliant on the machine actually working. So thanks a bunch. I appreciate you for coming by, watching. Subscribe to my Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube, Firebrand Fox Gaming on YouTube. Obviously, it's Firebrand Fox on Twitch. So yeah, give me follow, subscribe, etc. If you want to see more videos and just know when I'm going live. I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch, and I'll see you next time.